What's going on, Avon?
I'm great, man. I'm great. There is one correction I got to give you,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
and I hate doing it, but I have to. It's Coburn instead of Cobourne, and it's a miscommon name, and a lot of people pronounce it that way. But yeah, man, I am doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a great day today.
Absolutely. And I apologize for. I'll be honest with you. I have been pronouncing it that way my entire life, so I had no idea. It was.
You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one, man.
I
Don't worry.
apologize for that, man.
No worries, boss. No
But
worries.
but uh,
Everything's
but for those of you listening on the podcast on the audio only side, I've got his Twitter handle at Avon Avon Cobourne Cobourne. And then obviously, if you're watching it on the YouTube side, you can see it there on the screen. So I invite you to look him up on Twitter, interact with him. I'm sure he appreciates the interaction. And he's got a lot of stuff going on in his own life right now. And I'm going to let him kind of plug that right now and let us know where we can find him and what he has going on.
so I appreciate that, cool. So again, my Twitter handle is at Avon Coburn at Avon Coburn. You can catch me on Facebook at Avon Coburn Jr. and also at Avon Deuces C. I got two pages. I got a bunch of people that um that are tuned in, and then I don't do Twitter that much, but I think not Twitter. I'm sorry. Instagram. I think it's at Mr. Chillson, or at Chillson, something like that. I don't do it that much, so I don't know what it is. But yeah, man, it's been great, man. God is good. Busy as can be, which is a blessing. Um, if you guys don't know, I live in Charleston now with my wife and four babies. Yeah, I said four. So we are super busy, and I got several things going on as far as financial services. If you need a mortgage, holla at me. If you need education on the mortgage, holla at me. Right now the rates are terrible. If you need some financial information as far as investments and insurance, holla at me. I got you. And I'm doing I have a podcast as well. It's not as pretty as this one. But Couz, I like Couz's corner, man. It's nice. You got to set up right.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I just realized I mispronounced your name again in the introduction.
Yeah, you did. It's all good.
Oh man, golly, man, I'm so sorry. It's a habit, I guess, man.
You
It
know,
just rolls off. I've been saying it for so long. You and I are about the same age, I think. So, man, I watch you play football and at West Virginia, and I just always pronounced it, and it's hard to. I'm going to have to change my way of thinking on that, man.
no, you're
Uh,
not the only one though. I mean, I had to correct another radio personality that did it. I mean, on the air live, because I told him, I said, no, that's not my name. I'm sorry. We've been pronouncing it wrong, and me being a boy, disrespected what my dad gave me. So
right, I get that.
no
I
worries,
understand.
man. It's all
Makes
good.
sense.
It's not a big deal for me. I mean, as long as people can take the correction and
Yeah,
understand, hey, that's not my name. I mean, there's one thing in the English language that is the most important word to people is their name. So
right.
that's what I want to hear. Now it's all
Yeah.
good.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate your courtesy there. And but anyway, let's dive right into the show. You were brought in by Don Nehlen, right,
Mm,
at West Virginia, but you
yep,
were there for the transition to Rich Rod.
right.
Can you touch a little bit on the differences between those two coaches and playing for those two guys? I mean, to me, they're probably night and day, I would assume. But
Yeah,
I'd like to hear from you, who's actually experienced it.
yeah, man, it was night and day because Don Coach Nehlen was at the end of his career, so he wasn't going to do any yelling. He wasn't going to do anything that is going to be out of anything out of his comfort zone. Wasn't going to happen.
Right.
If you did something he didn't like, he was going to get you a bus ticket and just tell you to keep it moving. Now, Rich Rod on the other side, he was a brand new head coach, first year head
Hmm.
coach, big league head coach. I mean, he was a head coach before, but first, Division 1
Right.
coaching job, and he was, I didn't think he was a very good coach at the time. He had a great scheme.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, he had a great philosophy, but the way he coached wasn't the best. I mean, we returned, you know what's his name? Coach Nehlen left the cupboard full. I
Right.
mean, we had probably 6, 7 starters on offense. About 10, probably about 6, 7 starters on defense.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's coming back with 12 starters is impactful.
Right.
And he was a square peg round hole coach. Like he was going to put a square peg in a round hole. And
Mhm.
if you didn't do it his way, there was no other way. You know what I mean? So he it was a bad experience. His first year was a bad experience. We went 3-8. You're not supposed to go 3-8 with at least 12 starters. We probably had more than that
Yeah.
coming back. That's just off the top of my head. Thinking about the guys that
Right.
played the year before.
Right.
You're not supposed to go 3-8, but him implementing his system and guys understand. You got to understand this. Guys were with Nehlen for 5 years, and now they bringing in this new guy, and now he's yelling and like, hold on, bro, like we don't do this.
Yeah.
And transition, he wasn't he wasn't trying to help people understand what it was to it was his way or no way. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I
Yeah.
don't think first year coach with starters coming back, you know, he should have just told everybody to transfer if that was the case. So I
Yeah.
didn't think he handled that the best way. But the next year, obviously, the guys bought into a system, and
Yeah.
he went 8-4 or 9 and something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so the transition was tough. It wasn't tough for me because I knew what I wanted. I mean, I wanted to go to the league, and I'm like, this is the coach. I'm just gonna do what he tells me to do. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And do what he tells me to do. If I do that, then if I don't win, it's on him. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's got the best positions to win. So
Yeah.
that wasn't necessarily the best ideology either. You know what I mean? So that's putting blame on other people on why I'm not having success. But at the same time, I said I'm gonna do everything he asked me to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there. I mean, that's to me that part of it is a positive because I think that's what that to me that's buy-in for the most part is doing what you're asked to do, even if you may not agree with it. Right.
Yep,
Um,
coachability is what I call it.
yeah. Coachability. Absolutely. So looking at it now, what is your fondest memory of your playing days at West Virginia, whether it be on the field, off the field, whatever it may be?
I mean, one of my fondest memories WVU is I met my wife there. Probably the best decision I've ever made was to marry her. That's off the field. Just hanging out with the boys, man, just playing Madden and wasting our life away.
Yeah.
Such a good time, man. But on the field, my fondest memory was when the fans rushed the field my senior year when I against Boston College. I think it was our last game of the year. They rushed the field and he lifted me up and it was a fantastic memory for me, man. I'm one of the things I'll never forget as a player.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, you left your mark on the program, man. I mean, you followed up somebody like an Amos Zeraway, who was a
Hmm.
legend in his own right, and
Absolutely.
had broken records, and then you come along right behind him and break him, and break his record. So, I mean, it's you accomplished a lot, man, and it was something to be proud of. And the cool thing about Mountaineer Nation and the fan base, man, we're such a blue collar state, and guys like yourself who worked hard and was blue collar and did it the right way, we gravitate towards people like you, man. And at least that's the way I've always looked at it. Is
Mhm.
and that that's what West Virginia football is. It's blue collar. It's guys who want to work hard, put in the time, the effort. Yes, you've got the talent, he wouldn't be there. But I think it was Michael Jordan who said, and this is a quote I use. I've caught myself using a lot lately for whatever reason. But I think it was Michael Jordan who said, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." Have you heard that quote before?
Absolutely.
Uh,
Um, so
so
so I like
yeah,
to I like to quote that from a famous poet named Jadakiss. I don't know if you guys follow rap music, but Jadakiss is part of the Locks, and he put that in a rap, and I think that was the first time I heard it. Is when
okay, okay.
yeah, absolutely.
I might be crediting the wrong person for it, but it was Jordan
No,
or
no, no.
Kobe. It was one.
Jordan said it.
He did say it. Okay, I didn't think I was too crazy then. But I knew it. I knew it was either him or Kobe. But I mean, to me, that's and that applies to anything in life, man. Whether it's I mean, heck, it's whether it's doing a podcast, whether it's being in sales, whether it's, whatever it is you do in life, whatever your calling is in life, football, whatever, uh, there's always going to be somebody as good or better than you.
Every
I
time.
don't care what it is you do. So how do you overcome that and be better than them? You've got to outwork them, and
Every
that's
time.
that's to me that's what Mountaineer football is all about. And you portrayed that in your career, and I think fans recognize that. That's why you got carried off the field. That's the way I look at it, anyway.
I appreciate it, and
Yeah,
I
man.
mean that was one of my fondest moments, man. And again, I love when people recognize my talent and the hard work that I put on the field,
Mm-hmm.
because again, it looks easy, but I couldn't do it right now if I tried. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
like, because you think about it, I'm like, man, it was while I'm doing it, I'm like, this is easy, but
Yeah.
now that I'm 43 years old, there's no
Mm-hmm.
way in the world that
Yeah.
I can go out there and attempt to do anything that I did, back then.
Right.
So,
Do you,
yeah, man,
yeah.
blessing.
Awesome. Everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this interview and this discussion here with Avon Cobourne. Uh,
My guy.
Thank you. And I still feel I'm a pet peeve when it comes to names, man. So the fact that I messed your name up is going to bother me for days.
No, you're
But
good.
anyway, hope you enjoyed our conversation. Hope you enjoyed getting to know him a little better, getting to know his story, what he's doing today. And one more time, Avon, please go ahead and plug yourself again. Let them know where to find you. I'll leave a link, by the way, to your podcast in the description of the video. But go ahead and tell them where they
Yeah.
can find you.
Facebook. I'm on Facebook more often than not. Avon Cobourne Jr. You can find me on Facebook, or Avon Deuces C. Um, on Facebook, on Twitter. Again, you see the Twitter handle at Avon Cobourne. And then my Instagram, I have two pages. I just realized I have two pages. One is I think one is Avon Cobourne, and one is Mr. Chillson. Yeah, so check that out, man. Check it out. Follow me. And if there's anything I can help you with, don't hesitate to reach out.
Appreciate that. Oh, real quick, I meant to ask you this earlier. I know we're over an hour, but this should be quick. The Mr. Chill Son, because
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a segment on your podcast called Mr. Chill Son. Can you
Yeah.
educate me and my listeners on where that came from?
So yeah, so in college, I don't know if I think my brother stole my mouthpiece, but in college I wrote Chill Son on my mouthpiece. And
Okay.
then I uh I uh I just it was just my logo. I mean, I took it and I trademarked it, and
Okay.
now it's my logo. So I don't know if I have it around anywhere, but that's just my logo now. Mr.
I got
Chill
you.
Son is I got a couple shirts over there.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Cool. Okay.
yeah,
I was just curious the origin of that.
yeah. So here's my logo. So Chill Son
Ah, okay.
football. Um,
Gotcha.
Shout out to my boy former player Aronde Cox. He designed this for me.
Cool.
So yeah, Chill Son. If you guys, most of my pictures that you see on the internet on my cards have the Chill Son written on there, and then I just took it and trademarked it.
Okay. Cool. That was very smart of you to do that. But you're a marketing and sales guy, so
Absolutely.
uh, listen, everybody. Once again, I hope you enjoyed our conversation here. Don't forget to support Avon and whatever he's doing, whether it's his podcast. If you want to talk about investments, insurance, any of that stuff, he'll help you out. So check him out on that. I'm sure he'd love to interact with you about that stuff on Twitter or Facebook, probably preferably. So check him out there. Maybe he can help you out in whatever it is you're doing uh, to put money away for your future or whatever it is you need to do. So uh, once again, everybody, thanks again for hopping on. Thanks to Avon for coming on. And as always, I got to end with this: Q Country Roads.